you are not, in fact, lazy. Hello, welcome to this week's Wild Spirits News. My name is Sibylle. I help women between 40 and 60 to make the second half of their lives a complete adventure by finding their unique life purpose and doing lots of what they love. If any of this sounds interesting, check out my website, wildspiritscoaching.com. Today's topic is why you don't do what you love, your passions, hobbies, or interests. Now, just to avoid the impression that I am the perfect coach who always spends plenty of time pursuing their passions, no, there are times when I don't either. Why can it be so hard to walk the 3 steps to the piano? Why can it be almost impossible to get into the car and drive the moderate distance to the gym? Your mission today is to learn why you might not be doing what you love and how to overcome this. The background is why, oh why? To start off with, there are at least 100 different reasons why you might not be pursuing your passion or doing what you love as much as you would like to, and none of them have anything to do with laziness. It's easy to get that impression especially if you do have time and space, and you're still not pursuing your passion, or you find yourself binging Netflix instead. It's completely impossible to list anywhere near all of the possible reasons, but I'm going to give you 3 of the most common ones from my experience with my clients. The first is burnout. You are not necessarily burnt out to the point where you can't work anymore. But almost all of us have accumulated over the years and decades a degree of constant stress, constant overstimulation, constant lack of adequate rest that accumulates into something akin to burnout, or at least mild burnout in a lot of cases. The second is adrenaline addiction. Our society kind of expects us to be on the go all the time, when we tend to internalize this. So we are constantly looking for the next distraction, for the next adrenaline kick. And so we end up either glued to our phones or our computers, or looking for distraction elsewhere. And that doesn't leave us any headspace mostly to pursue a passion. And the third is lack of time. Your schedule might simply be too full to allow room for something that takes a little bit of calm and reflection and just the space for pursuing a passion. And when you do have a little free time, then unsurprisingly, you're usually too tired to do anything. The task is do what you love. Obviously, the place we want to get to is having ample time for all our passions, hobbies, and interests. Once again, there are so many ways of achieving this that I can't list them all, but here is, again, a small selection. The first is to simplify and downsize your life. It is almost always possible. Okay, here's a caveat. There are some exceptional situations where you can't. Like when you have a small child, or you're a full-time 24/7 carer for someone. These situations are usually temporary, and the majority of women between 40 and 60 are not in these situations and can actually make the time and the space and downsize. A good rule for downsizing, for finding what to let go from your life and what to say no to, is anything that takes up time and doesn't contribute to your happiness and or your well-being. The second is to get more rest. 42% of our time should be spent resting, according to the Nagoski sisters in their seminal book, Burnout, which everyone should read. Now, think about it. Even if you sleep for 8 hours every night, and who sleeps for 8 hours? But even if you do, that's only 33% of the time. So you still need to rest during the day. And this is the minimum requirement. This is not something that you should do just if you're tired. You should every day, as a habit, rest and spend 42% of your time resting. The third is make it easy to pursue your passion. Now, this might sound a little silly, but you'd be surprised how much of a difference it can make. So rather than storing your crafting, if crafting is your passion, you're crafting things in the top cupboard where you have to climb on a chair in order to get to it. lay it out on the table. Bonus points if you have a specific crafting table. So lay it out there so that you keep seeing it and wanting to sit down and craft. If running is your passion, put your running shoes right next to the door. So you just grab them and go. So make it geographically, physically easy to pursue your passion. Try out one or more of these points and see what it does to you. And if you need any support with this, and honestly, most people do, because what I just described is in direct opposition to what our society and capitalism is trying to get us to do. So it's like swimming against the flow the entire time. And that can be very tiring. And so you really need everyone in your corner. So if you would like some support with this, check out my program, The Magic of Purpose. I'm putting a link in the description below the video. And this brings me, as usual, to the last point. Let me know. What do you think of this? Are you familiar with what I described here? Are you going to try out any of the things that I suggested? What are your experiences? I'd love to read about them, and I'll reply to every comment either below the video or reply to the email that you got the link to the video with. And like I said, if you're interested in this, check out my website, wildspiritscoaching.com, where you can also join the community of Wild Spirits by signing up to the Wild Spirits news. 100% spam-free, 1 email per week, and I always include important and useful information. So it's not just some marketing newsletter, right? I'd love to have you in the community. Have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.